So there's a gentleman by the name of Charles Downs. He's a journalist for Loomer Unleashed, and we got into it on social media yesterday, and I invited him on this show. And he agreed. The only stipulation was he was going to wear his Cleveland Cavaliers
jersey. You got to
jersey, which I agreed to do. And I said, let's do it. Let's get into it. I said, why don't you just, usually I don't have guests on to start the show, but I said, let's just get into it, on a Friday. Let's just get right into it. So Charles joins us right now on PTL. Charles, I appreciate you being here. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself? Are you ready to get into this debate? This is going to be so much fun.
It might not be fun for you. I don't know, but I hope it's fun for both of us. Okay. That's my objective. I wore my Celtic jersey, as you asked. You're wearing your Cleveland jersey, and I want to get right into it with you, my man. So first of all, how long have you been working for Laura Loomer in Loomer Unleashed? Let me get a little background on you first.
Hold up, dude. I'm just tweeting out your live link right now, and then let's get into it. Sorry about that.
That's okay. No problem. I just want to give people a little bit of background on you and how long you've been working for, Loomer Unleashed. If you can give us a little bit of that.
So for sure. Yeah. I'm ready to go now. This is going to be great.
So how long have you been there?
Since November, I've been working with Laura, and it's been fantastic. She's a great personal friend. She's very smart, very intelligent. Probably one of the best political operatives I know. And I know a lot of political operatives on the right and on the left.
We can get into that later, but if you want to talk about Laura Loomer to start, and I'm not here to, trash your boss, but she called all Muslims savages, and she said she was a proud Islamophobic. Is that somebody that you think is smart that would say she is a proud Islamophobic? Because I find that repugnant and disgusting.
I mean, I kind of find Islam kind of a little disgusting with their codes and how they don't allow women to drive cars and make
well, there's plenty of people.
If I was a Jew,
There's plenty of people that are Islamic in the United States of America that are not extremists. She called herself a proud Islamophobic. That means everybody that is Islam, she is against. Don't you find that to be racist and repugnant? That's my question. I'm not asking about your beliefs. I'm asking about your boss's beliefs. When you call yourself a proud Islamophobic, you're taking an entire group of people into one. Not everybody in Islam says women can't drive a car and can't show their body or anything. You do understand that, right?
Aren't you the same guy who said all Trump supporters are basically KKK members?
Absolutely not. You've just started. The first words you've said in this interview are blatantly false and a lie, and I'm going to call you on it. Never in the 20 years of radio or when Trump got into office have I ever characterized every Trump supporter as anything. And if you actually took the time to listen to what I had to say, I said it felt like a Klan rally at the rally. And I've said every day on this show that I have Trump friends. I don't characterize every Trump supporter as being racist. I don't characterize every Trump supporter as being in the Klan. So would you like to recharacterize what you just said, because you misrepresented me?
I mean, I watched your video, so I guess maybe you can explain more. Maybe I didn't hear your video correctly, but
no, you didn't.
Why did you feel like you were at a Klan rally, I guess?
Sure. I said it felt like a Klan rally because of the cultish nature of it. And I've explained this, but I'll explain it to you. When people are buying Donald Trump Bibles, when people are buying $750 sneakers, some people were selling Confederate flags at that rally. I believe it to be a cult like the Klan. It is a cult. And even Donald Trump admitted it. I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and many of these people would still support me. You don't see people with malarkey signs on the back of pickup trucks. You don't see people buying Joe Biden Bibles. You don't see people buying $700 Joe Biden sneakers. He's literally using God and religion to make money and hawk Bibles. With all due respect, that's a cult. The Klan is a cult. Oh, yeah. And by the way, there were maybe a small handful of minorities at that rally. 99.9% of them are white. So I'm not saying every Trump supporter is a racist. I'm not saying every Trump supporter is in the Klan. That would be a ridiculous statement. And by the way, I've never said that. What I said is it felt like a Klan atmosphere in a sense of the word cult.
I mean, I think people don't drive around with Joe Biden signs and stickers because nobody likes Joe Biden.
Okay, so let's go with that.
Going off your assessment,
nobody likes Joe Biden. Then why did Joe Biden win the popular vote badly in 2020?
We all know Biden didn't win the election. Come on.
What do you mean, come on? Where's your evidence of widespread voter fraud that Joe Biden didn't win a free and fair election?
Do you say with a straight face, do you really, 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 like, truly believe, like, in your heart of hearts, that Barack Obama got less votes than Joe Biden in Philadelphia and Detroit? Answer that question.
Okay, sure, I will.
Really think that?
Sure, I'll answer it. So it's not what's in my heart, like you, because I don't go by what's in my heart.
Or your brain.
It's not what my.
It's your brain. You really think in your brain Joe Biden got more votes than Obama?
So anybody that has an IQ over 20 would understand that Joe Biden won a free and fair election, and there's no evidence, because that's what I go by, Charles. I actually go by something called evidence. Now, if you can prove to me that there was widespread voter fraud, which none of the courts, nobody could prove. Donald Trump's attorneys couldn't prove it. Nobody could prove it in a courtroom, that there was something called widespread voter fraud that could have changed the outcome of the election, which has not been proven to this day. So it's not what's in my heart. It's not what's in my mind. It's just something called logic and the facts. I don't know if you can spell the word fact, but there are no facts that would claim that Joe Biden didn't win in 2020. It's absurd.
Pennsylvania changed their voting mechanisms without the approval of the legislator. And when Pennsylvania changed their voting mechanisms to allow mail-in ballots,
and why did they do that?
The legislator, those mail-in ballots never, ever, ever should have counted because they were illegal. So Donald Trump won Pennsylvania.
So that's your
Donald Trump won
opinion.
Wisconsin, and Donald Trump won Georgia. So Donald Trump won the election.
Okay.
Right?
So first of all, no, wrong. That's your opinion that it was illegal. It was not illegal. That's number one.
Courts have said what Pennsylvania did illegal.
Okay.
Courts have come out in Wisconsin. Those drop boxes, illegal. Courts have come out in Georgia, illegal.
Okay.
They literally had to change the Georgia recount. I'm sorry. They had to change the Georgia runoff election rules because what happened in November was so illegal, right?
Okay. In your opinion, the elections were illegal. I tend to listen to the FBI, the DOJ, when they say it was the most secure election we've ever had, than somebody who works for Loomer Unleashed, with all due respect. I'm
repeating what the courts are saying. I'm repeating what the
got you. So let me ask you a question then. So if that was true and the courts are saying the election was stolen, then why is it that Donald Trump had 61 opportunities to provide evidence in a courtroom and they couldn't provide any evidence that the election was stolen? And there was no merit to any of those cases, and they were thrown out. Why is that then? Are some of those Trump
we're touching on a great point here, and a great point about the constitutional crisis that America was going through during the 2020 election. Why didn't the courts? You're asking a great question. Why didn't the courts step in?
Because they ruled that there was no merit.
Because they were cowards. The Supreme Court are cowards.
Okay, so this
had nothing to do. Literally said, "Hey, what Pennsylvania is doing is wrong with approving mail-in ballots without the approval of their legislator." And the
guess what? Some of those judges
wrong, and they did nothing about it.
Some of those judges were Trump-appointed judges, so I guess that's Donald Trump's fault, then, isn't it? I don't want to get into a 45-minute debate with you why you think that Donald Trump won the 2020 election.
He did.
The bottom line is that he didn't. It's a ridiculous conversation. And I'd like to talk to you about some more important issues. That's in the past. Joe Biden won a free and fair election. You said that if you don't vote for Donald Trump, that you're a Democrat. So you're saying Liz Cheney is a Democrat?
Oh, she's the biggest Democrat.
Liz Cheney is a Democrat who votes 99.9% with conservatives. And you're making the claim on this show that you believe Liz Cheney is a Democrat because she doesn't support Donald Trump. Are you serious?
Oh, she's the biggest Democrat, and she screwed over so many.
When has she ever sided with Democrats?
She literally set the stage to potentially get Republican colleagues of hers jailed by the J6 committee. That doesn't make you a Republican. She's a Democrat. She sold out as soon as she joined the J6 committee. Because if you remember how the J6 committee was formed? Do you remember then Minority Leader McCarthy didn't get his picks, right? And then
so because you want so by your standards, hold on, Charles, by your standards, even though she's a lifelong Republican and she's voted 99% with the Republicans her entire career, you're willing to throw that all out in the garbage because she wants people held accountable for January 6th. That is absurd. By the way, Liz Cheney's not a Democrat. Mike Pence is not a Democrat. Mike Pompeo is not a Democrat. Jeff Duncan is not a Democrat. Mitt Romney is not a Democrat. You're making the case that for all the independents out there, and even moderate Republicans that are friends of mine, that they're not, many of them that I talk to, they're not even voting for Joe Biden. They're just not voting for Donald Trump. And you're claiming if you don't vote for a liable, sexual abusing 34 count felon, that somehow that makes you a Democrat is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life.
No, if you are not supporting the GOP nominee in arguably the most important election of our lifetime, you are not a Republican. If you are not supporting the GOP nominee, how can you say with a straight face you're a Republican?
Okay, so first of all, that's not what you said. You said if they're not supporting Donald Trump, they're a Democrat, which is absurd.
Donald Trump's a nominee, so if you're not supporting Donald Trump, you're a Democrat.
Could it be possible, Charles, that maybe some of these people, with all due respect, unlike you, I don't know you personally, but it could be possible that some of these people, maybe they have a moral compass and they don't want to vote for a guy that's a 34 count felon and a liable sexual abuser who attacks.
Are you saying Liz Cheney has a moral compass? Do we need to get
more than Donald Trump? Absolutely.
She threw her sister down the well. She betrayed her own sister. Liz Cheney's garbage. Liz Cheney's father lied. He lied and got thousands of Americans killed.
Okay, so you care about lying. Got it. So you care about lying, yet you wear the Donald Trump knee pads. That makes a lot of sense. Let's talk about January 6th, since you care so much about lying.
Can't wait to educate your audience on this.
So yeah, you're definitely educating me, Charles. You're making some amazing points. Clearly, you're a Democrat if you don't vote for Donald Trump. That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, if you don't support, and I think Democrats would say the same thing.
No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't.
If you were not supporting Joe Biden,
I haven't heard.
The left would be like, you're not a Democrat.
I haven't heard one Democrat that calls himself a journalist like you who would say if you vote for Donald Trump, you're not a Democrat, you're a Republican. What I have heard people say is, I think you're misguided. I think you lack a moral compass if you vote for Donald Trump. But I wouldn't say for somebody that has voted with the Democrat Party 99% of the time because they choose to vote for Donald Trump that they're not a Democrat, they're a Republican. I would say they're wrong, they're misguided. I disagree with their opinion. But claiming that they're from the other party because you don't like the way they're voting is absurd. Let's talk about.
She went out of her way to destroy the House GOP as she was trying to destroy Donald Trump. I'm sure if.
So you don't think the House GOP?
Let's use Jamie Raskin as an example. My little friend Jamie. I'm sure if Jamie Raskin decided, hey, I'm going to talk a bunch of shit about Joe Biden, and then I'm going to go out of my way to destroy my congressional Democrat colleagues, I don't think many people on the left would consider Jamie Raskin a
Democrat colleague.
I think Jamie Raskin would be the first person to say, yeah, I'm not a Democrat anymore. Seriously.
Jamie Raskin is a Democrat. I have no idea what you're talking about. Which Democrat colleague did he destroy? Which Democrat colleague did he destroy? I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm saying if
an example of something you're using it as an example of something that didn't happen. You're not making any sense.
No, I'm trying to put it in perspective for your audience. I'm saying, look, if a member of Congress on the left said, I'm not supporting Joe Biden, and then that same member of Congress joins a Republican-only committee and then uses that committee to go after their Democrat colleagues and threaten them with jail? Seriously? No one on the left would say that guy's a Democrat anymore.
Okay, well, again, nobody on the Democrat Party is doing that. And the reason why there are people like Adam Kinzinger's and Mitt Romney's and Liz Cheney's out there is because they want people on January 6th to be held accountable. Let me ask you a question about January 6th. If Donald Trump doesn't lie and say that the election was stolen, which, by the way, it wasn't. I know you think it was with no real evidence. But if Donald Trump doesn't say the election was stolen leading up to January 6th, does January 6th happen? Yes or no?
I mean, the election was stolen, so you're asking.
No, it wasn't. I'm not going to have a debate with you over stupidity. The election was not stolen. There's no evidence of widespread voter fraud. And if you want to keep telling yourself that and keep saying the earth is flat,
the evidence I'm using is that voting rules were changed in.
That doesn't mean the election was stolen. We were in the middle of
Georgia.
Do you even know why they did that? Do you even have?
That's what we like to call illegal.
Do you even know it's not a? Do you even know why they did that? Do you even understand that we were in a global pandemic
and worked up over the flu? That's why.
No. Okay, so it was the flu. Another idiotic, stupid statement on your part. Now, I know you're not a doctor and you have no medical degrees. Can you name me a time in this country where the flu killed millions of people? What the hell are you talking about? Now you're going to say COVID was the flu?
1919.
I'm talking about modern medicine in the last 50 years. This was a global pandemic where millions of people died. Are you not? Oh, so now you're going to say they didn't die?
I mean, people died, but did they die of COVID? If you got hit by a car and you had COVID, a little bit of COVID and you got hit by a car and they said COVID killed you.
That is 100%. And where's your evidence of that?
I'm literally repeating statistics from
you're repeating conspiracy theories by idiots on the far right. Where is your evidence that if somebody was hit by a car,
so much.
Where's your evidence? Where is it? Where could we go see your evidence?
You want to look? I mean, you have a nice
how many people died of COVID
right now?
So how many people died of COVID?
Who cares? Doctor? I don't know.
Who cares? I don't know. Yeah. So you don't know how many people died of COVID, but
I don't worship COVID numbers. Sorry. I don't
so you have no idea. So you have no idea how many people died of COVID, yet you want to have a debate with me and downplay COVID. Do you realize
because it wasn't real? I mean, it was real, but it wasn't real like the media portrayed it as.
Okay, so how real was it?
They could change election rules without people freaking out, without the court stepping in so they could cheat. Come on, dude. The courts were too scared to move on these election rules being changed without state legislator approval because the courts were being scared that they would be called grandma killers because that's what the media blasted out. And that was I mean, honestly, y'all on the left, you guys did a great job with COVID. You played us.
First of all,
let me an award for how
so first of all, let me correct you again because again, you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. I'm not y'all. I'm not a Democrat. I'm a registered independent that did not vote for Hillary Clinton. I didn't vote for Barack Obama. I am anti-Donald Trump. And I know you think everybody on the planet that doesn't vote for Donald Trump must be a liberal, which is, by the way, the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. I'm a registered
Republican nominee. You're not a Republican. It's that simple.
Okay, got you. So the Republican Party is led by the orange turd who's a liable sexual abuser and a 34-count felon. But okay, that's fine. If you don't vote for a 34-count felon, you're out of the Republican Party. Hey, that's a great way to win votes. Why do you think that the Republican Party has lost 7 of the last 8 popular vote in presidential election? Because there's too many people out there like you that spread conspiracy theories and nonsense.
Oh, no, because they cheat in New York and Los Angeles.
Oh, they cheat. Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Chicago, do you trust the voting in Chicago? Do you think the voting in Chicago, mother effing Illinois is honest? Serious question.
I don't know why you need to swear. We're doing a live interview on the radio, and you show a lack of intelligence by doing that.
Donald Trump says sometimes you got to add a little profanity to make it a good story.
Well, that's a very intelligent thing to do. You got to add.
Very intelligent.
I use up here. I don't need to use profanity with you. So let me ask you a question. Yeah, you sound like a very intelligent person. So let's go back to 2016 for a moment, sir. Before the 2016 election, Donald Trump said that the election was going to be rigged, that Hillary was going to cheat, and that the Democrats were going to cheat. And then something interesting happened.
Yeah, we swamped them.
Okay, hold on. Let me finish. Hopefully you're smart enough to understand where I'm going with this.
All right.
Donald Trump won a free and fair election in 2016. Hillary Clinton conceded that night. And then for the next 3 years, I didn't hear any Republicans saying that, oh, well, it wasn't a fair election. It was illegitimate.
Yeah, that was Hillary. Hillary was saying it was
rigged. It wasn't. She conceded that night. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. You don't know what you're talking about. Hillary Clinton conceded that night. What the hell are you talking about? There wasn't an insurrection.
And then she called her buddy Obama, and then they tried to literally force Trump out with some fake dossier.
What are you talking about? She won she conceded.
It literally happened, man. This deal, come on.
What do you mean, come on? Come on, dude. He won the 2016 election. He said it was going to be rigged. I guess it wasn't rigged. Was Donald Trump wrong in 2016?
Hey, there were some weird things that happened in 2016. Trump swamped her so bad they couldn't.
He won a free and fair, but he won a free and fair election.
Why didn't they call Pennsylvania until like 3 a.m. in 2016?
Okay, so you don't want to answer my questions directly. Is that what
he won the election, but it wasn't free and fair. He won it despite the Democrats cheating.
Okay, so the Democrats
Donald Trump's popularity.
Okay, so with no evidence, the Democrats tried to cheat in 2016. With no evidence of widespread voter fraud, you claim that Donald Trump won the 2020 election.
Yeah, because Philadelphia is you should really trust the results coming out of Philadelphia.
No, I really trust Loomer Unleashed. You guys, no, I really trust people like you. You have a ton of credibility, Charles. So Charles, let me ask you a question. Yeah, you have a ton of credibility. Do you think Joe Biden's accomplished anything? Has he done anything good for them?
I mean, he's pretty good he's accomplished a lot of things like destroying America.
No.
Really I didn't ask you destroying America.
How has he done that?
Fantastic job.
How has he done that? How has he done that? What policies?
I mean, go get some gas.
So you think Joe Biden sets the gas prices? Are you that ignorant?
I mean, Joe Biden sets the policies which set inflation and everything else within the economy. Because of Build Back Better, which is actually Build Back Worse.
Name me a policy.
Build Back Better shot inflation up. Oh, and Joe Biden doesn't let people drill anymore. so you can't get any oil. So gas is super expensive.
Do you understand that the
oil
cost
sets the standard for all inflation? So if you have high energy cost, it's a down. I guess we could call it a down ballot effect. Since we're talking about politics here,
you have no idea where you obviously have no idea where the energy independence statistics are in this country. You also don't understand that.
Any energy independence
excuse me. You're just throwing things at a wall and hope that they stick, and you have no idea what you're talking about. First of all, we had a war in the Ukraine.
How much was gas when Donald Trump left office?
Okay, I'm gonna try to educate you.
Ukraine has nothing to do with it. We weren't even really buying gas from Russia.
Got you. Now you go from
we have enough oil to ourselves and tell the world.
Charles, I'm gonna respond.
And we'd be the most energy independent country.
I'm gonna respond to what you just said because it's not good for our listeners when we both talk over each other. Now I'm going to talk, and then I'm going to give you the opportunity to talk. You're making the claim that it's Joe Biden's fault where our gas prices are at. Now I'm going to respond to that, and I'm going to tell you, first of all, there's something called corporate greed, and the oil companies in this country have had record profits for decades. That's number one. Number two, if you ask an actual economist that knows what they're talking about, which clearly you don't listen to these people, they would tell you that certainly coming out of a pandemic and the war in Ukraine had a lot to do with why gas prices went on the rise. Number three, 98% of the world had to deal with high gas prices and inflation. And to those countries that we compare ourselves to, we are doing much better than them. So when you blame Joe Biden for high gas prices, in turn, you don't seem to understand that the gas companies in this country have made record profits, and that the war in the Ukraine, if you speak to professionals that know what they're talking about when it comes to economics, would tell you that Joe Biden doesn't set the gas prices.
Who is the war in Ukraine's fault? Isn't it Biden's fault? It's really interesting. Why does Putin only go into Ukraine when Democrats are in office? Can you answer that question?
So now, so you just skipped over everything I just
answer more. And we want to talk about corporate greed. Let's talk about corporate greed. You know who is the most guilty of corporate greed? Woke capital. Look at all this damage woke capital is doing. And woke capital is just as guilty for all this energy prices as Joe Biden is. And who funds Joe Biden? Oh, woke capital. So
woke capital funds Joe Biden. That's another very intelligent claim that you're making.
You're all right. But Wall Street's not funding Donald Trump. Wall Street hasn't funded Republicans since 2012. Right. 2012 called. They want their talking points back. Republicans haven't been funded by Wall Street.
So you didn't respond to anything that I just said. Would you say that? Well, I mean, I'm not going to repeat what I just said. You just talked. You're all over the place. Would you say expanding overtime guarantees for millions of Americans is a bad thing for the country or a good thing for the country?
I mean, is making people work more and more and more because wages are so crappy and inflation is so high? I made a video the other day.
You're not answering my question.
So many people in my generation have to work 2 jobs because Joe Biden's economy sucks. And then Joe Biden wants to track our Venmo transactions of $500 so he can tax that. Meanwhile,
I didn't ask you.
Donald Trump is not going to tax.
I didn't ask you.
Tips. And that helps my generation because my generation, like I said, many people have had to get a second job.
Hey, Charles, let's talk about that since you didn't, again, respond to what I just said. Donald Trump said he doesn't want to tax people on tips. Hey, Charles, why didn't he do that when he was president?
I mean, he did a lot of other things when he was president.
No, that's not what I asked you.
He tried to do that, actually.
Charles? No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Charles, Charles,
he cannot rely on the ministers over in the House GOP and Senate Republicans to get it done. So he'll just do it himself. We don't need Congress. Yes,
Charles, you just said something that's not true. You just said Trump did try to do it. That is false. Hold on.
Congress didn't budge.
Okay, Charles, what bill did Donald Trump put in place to not tax tippers when he was in office?
Multiple CR, continuing resolutions. You know,
he did not
bills that they do to fund the government.
All right, Charles.
They tried multiple times to do that.
Charles, I'm going to give you a fact check.
I was in those. I promise you. They tried. I promise you.
Okay, I don't care. Listen, I don't care what you promised. There's fact, and then there's fiction.
I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
I'm sure you did, Charles. So the fact is that Donald Trump has never mentioned that until he came to Vegas. He came to Vegas. We are, in that sort of business. With tipping is huge in Las Vegas. It's the first time he ever brought it up. He didn't bring it up when he was president. He didn't bring it up in 2021 or 2022. Now, let me ask you another question, and let's see if you could respond to it directly, because you really haven't responded to any of my questions directly. Would you say gun violence prevention and gun safety, $286 million to student wellness and helping those that are suffering from mental illness, would you say that would be a good thing or a bad thing for the country?
I mean, what does that even mean? Suffering from mental illness? Like,
what does that mean?
Can you define it?
Sure. Those that are suffering. Sure. Those that are suffering from mental illness. It could be depression.
I mean, it sounds nice, but like, where's all that money actually going?
I'm trying to tell you, if you could just listen to me. There are a lot of people in this country that suffer from a ton of different mental illnesses. It could be depression. It could be anxiety, a number of different things. And what Joe Biden did is he implemented funds to help students, to help them with student wellness, also gun violence prevention and gun safety. Now, Republican or Democrat, I would think most Americans would say helping those that are mentally ill, especially our children, would be a good thing. Would you agree with me, or would you like to put a negative towards that?
No, I mean, no, I agree with you. Helping children who are mentally ill are good, but that's not what Joe Biden's doing.
Yes, it is.
This is what the left is so good. No, I'll give you guys this. Y'all over on the left, you say you're not the left, but you're on Occupy Democrats right now. So
all right, pot him down. Pot him down. Now it's my turn.
So good. You guys are so good with language.
Doing my job.
I tell people on the right this.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You guys on the left are so good with language. You guys take a subject.
Everything you say is factually inaccurate. I am on a bunch of, I guess you could say, a bunch of different avenues on social media and platforms. One of the platforms that I am on is Occupy Democrats. If there was an Occupy Republicans, I would be on their platform as well, because unlike you, I have a large audience. Okay.
Ooh, ouch.
I don't work for Occupy Democrats. I'm on their platform, and I'm very appreciative of that. Okay. So just because I'm on Occupy Democrats doesn't mean that I'm a Democrat. You are on Loomer Unleashed. The Donald Trump campaign doesn't even want anything to do with Laura Loomer, the person that you work for, who calls herself a proud Islamophobic. She is a conspiracy theorist that has made conspiracy theorist claims about the Parkland shooting. She is no better than Alex Jones. So don't you start criticizing the platforms that I'm on. You work for Laura Loomer, who is respected really by nobody with an IQ over 20 in this country. She's despicable. She's a bad person. Okay. So don't start. Oh, yeah, I'm sure she's very nice, calling herself an Islamophobic. Are you freaking kidding me? She is a disgrace. And everything you've said in this interview is absurd. You've said that Donald Trump won the 2020 election when he didn't. You said, okay, well, it's not my fault. You're an idiot when you say things like that.
How am I an idiot by saying
you're an idiot because everything you say, because everything you say is a conspiracy theory.
Courts in all three of those states said those state legislators
you don't know how many people died of COVID and you have no medical experience. You claim that Donald Trump won the 2020 election when there's no evidence of widespread voter fraud. And then when I ask you about 2016, when Trump did win a free and fair election, you claim the Democrats tried to cheat there as well.
They did.
You have no idea what you're talking about, Charles. You have no evidence. You're no better than Laura Loomer, and you're no better than Alex Jones. You're a conspiracy theorist who watches too much of Newsmax. Literally nothing you've said in this interview is a fact. You're continuing to run your mouth right now, and you don't know how to listen. So if you want to continue this conversation, you're not going to misquote me or misrepresent my opinions on anything. I'm not going to allow that to happen, okay? If you want to continue the conversation, I'm happy to do so. But just because I'm on a platform called Occupy Democrats doesn't mean I'm so biased on one side of the aisle like you are. You're not willing to criticize Donald Trump for literally anything. When he said I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue, he was talking about Charles Downs. He was talking about you because you wear the Donald Trump knee pads. That's what you do. Have you criticized Donald Trump for anything, Charles?
Why would I criticize Donald Trump? He's the greatest president.
Perfect. So he's never. So when he said he didn't respect John McCain because he was captured, are you okay with that statement?
Yeah, John McCain is a big loser, and all John McCain's done is hurt America. So did you grow up in the Rust Belt? Where did you grow up? I'm not trying to be creepy, but where did you grow up?
What does that have to do with the conversation?
Because your background has a lot to do with your politics, right? So like I said, I'm not trying to be creepy. You don't have to be like, I grew up in this town, but like, where are you? Like, what's your? I guess
my background has nothing to do with my political beliefs.
I mean, I'll give you my background because my background has everything to do with my political.
I really don't care about your background right now. We're talking about issues. I'm trying to understand your opinion on this. Let's try to focus. You can have your differences of opinions when it comes to John McCain. That's fine. That's not what I'm asking you about. I'm asking you about, in general, a person that was a POW for 5.5 years. And you don't, he said he doesn't respect him because he was captured. And you're telling me you're okay with that statement?
I mean, I think that statement that Trump said was taken a little out of context.
No, it wasn't. We played it on the show before. I'm not taking it out of context.
I mean, John McCain is a piece of garbage. Sorry, why am I supposed to respect someone because he was captured? John McCain went to the United States Senate, and for 50 years, he sold out my people. He sold out my people from the Rust Belt. He sold out our jobs. He sold out our opportunities so he could make a buck and feed his growing daughter. You know, that's all John McCain did. Why should I respect him?
Because
Why should I respect John
it's
McCain?
called respect.
Why should anyone from the Rust Belt respect?
I'm going to answer your question because it's clearly something that you've never done, because obviously you haven't served this country. He was a POW for 5.5 years and he was tortured. What do you mean, ooh? Are you that much of a complete jerk? What do you mean, ooh? You don't have respect for our brave men and women in uniform?
No, I never said that. I said I don't have respect for someone like John McCain. He
was a POW for 5.5 years.
He went to the United States Senate for 50 years and sold out America.
I'm not talking about your political opinions on John McCain. It was Donald Trump that specifically said he didn't respect him because he was captured. You're defending that statement? Do you realize how awful that is, what you're defending?
You realize how awful John McCain is?
I'm going to say this one more time.
I wish John McCain would get alive and go get captured again. I'd be super happy if that happened.
Well, you know what, Charles? You're just an a-hole. You're just a bad person. You're a jerk. For you just to say that you want John McCain, if he was here, to be captured again, makes you a despicable turd. You are a despicable turd. What is even your education? You sound like you have a 20 IQ. How stupid are you? Really?
I mean,
how stupid are you? Where's your education? What are your degrees? Give it to us.
I asked you about your background.
No, I'll give you my background. I'll answer anything you have for me. I want to know what your education is.
I mean, I went to
Where did you go to college? Stupid.
Paul Ryan school. Me and Paul Ryan had the same degree.
Wow, you got a GED, so you're like Lauren Boebert. Did you go to college? Do you have a degree?
Dude, I just told you I graduated from Miami of Ohio with the same degree as Paul Ryan.
And what was your degree at Miami, Ohio? And what was your degree at Miami, Ohio?
Business and politics, like the best you could get. We're like the number 3 business
politics at Miami,
I'm a genius. High IQ genius.
You're a genius. Yeah, you definitely sound like a genius, saying that you want somebody who is a prisoner of war, who has passed away, if he was alive, to be a prisoner of war again. Let me be very clear. I wish you were a prisoner of war. I wish you were in a cave in Afghanistan with Lauren Boebert right now. I really do.
I wish you would grow up in Rust Belt, Ohio, and see how awful it is.
Okay, I don't know what that has to do with anything.
It has a lot to do with it because John McCain was in the Senate for 50 plus years. He sold out our jobs and he destroyed the Rust Belt.
So because you don't like, so let's go with that.
That's why I don't like John McCain.
Okay, so let's go with that. You don't like him because you don't like his politics and you don't think he was
hurt my people.
Okay, sure. So you're entitled to that opinion, but you're taking that opinion and saying you wish that he was a POW again. Do you realize how despicable that statement is?
Do you realize how despicable John McCain has hurt people in the Rust Belt? He has flooded my community, my hometown, with fentanyl. His policies are killing people and have killed thousands of people in Ohio.
I'm sure it has.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, I'm sure it has.
Passed legislation that got people hooked on the opioids, dude.
Okay, so what have we learned in this interview? We've learned that with no direct evidence of widespread voter fraud, Charles says that Donald Trump won the 2020 election. With no direct evidence, he says that the Democrats and Hillary Clinton attempted to cheat in the 2016 elections. He's downplayed COVID. He's called, hold on, I just want to review. He's called COVID the flu. He's also defended Donald Trump's statements when he said he didn't respect John McCain because he was captured. He also wished that if John McCain was alive today, that he would be a POW again. Charles, you sound like a very intelligent, very decent human being, but I wouldn't expect anything less from somebody who works with Laura Loomer, who is also a despicable human being.
You didn't have the part where I said, I wish John McCain would get captured again and be held as a POW because of his horrific policies he enacted in the United States Senate. If John McCain didn't go to the United States Senate for 50 years and destroy America, I never would wish that on him.
Yeah. How much money do you make?
In my mouth.
Gotcha. So I'm just curious here because, you know, and I forgot to add that if you don't vote for Donald Trump, you're not a Republican, which is
absolutely. You don't support the party nominee. You're not a part of that party. That's a very basic basic.
No,
basic,
that's what makes you see.
concept.
Well, you see, here's where you're wrong, regardless of what your stupid opinions are. If you're a registered Republican and you don't vote for Donald Trump, guess what? The RNC says you can still be a registered Republican.
Well,
So
the RNC should
factually,
probably change its rules.
okay, well, they're not, because that wouldn't be America. That would be called a dictatorship. Okay, dummy, that would be called a dictatorship. Just because
dumb.
you
I'm
don't.
very
Yes,
smart.
you are. You're very stupid. You're a very dumb person. Okay, I don't want to go to ad hominem attacks, but it's really hard to have any conversation of any intellectual abilities when I'm talking to someone like you who literally has the brain capacity of a 2-year-old.
I have the biggest brain capacity. Keep it going.
Yeah, you're very, yeah, you sound like a very intelligent. You're so smart that you use that degree to work for Laura Loomer. So obviously you're very intelligent.
I mean,
yeah, no.
Work, it's everywhere.
Yeah, I have. So I've shown your work to some of my friends, and I can't even say on the air what I said to them because I didn't even know what I was dealing with but now I do. So no, I would say
say it.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to say it because unlike you, I have decency, and I wouldn't.
Oh, no, say it. Come on.
Unlike you, I wouldn't wish.
Say it to my face.
Okay, I'll say it to your. I'll say to your face right now what I think about you. Okay.
Oh, I can't wait. Let's hear it.
Yeah, let's hear it. You're obviously a very brainwashed, unintelligent person. You're obviously somebody that only takes far-right conspiracy theories. You have no facts to back up any of your opinions. And quite frankly, sir, you're an embarrassment to this country. And that is why you are not on any legitimate network. And that is why nobody watches your stuff and you're on Laura Loomer TV or whatever the hell it is. You literally work for a boss who calls herself a proud Islamophobic and a conspiracy theorist who said there were actors in the Parkland school shooting. She's called Muslim savages, and that's who you work for. You have zero credibility. Laura Loomer has zero credibility, and you wear the Donald Trump knee pads 24/7. You are an idiot, and I would say that to your face as well. You are a moron, a conspiracy theorist, and a dope. That's what you are. You are a MAGA clown and you are deplorable. And when Hillary Clinton said the word deplorable, she was talking about people like you. If you had to take an IQ test, you don't have an IQ over 20. You're a moron. That's what you are.
The highest IQ, actually.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm just like Donald Trump. Right. Just like Donald Trump has the highest IQ as well. Yeah, I'm sure you have a very high IQ.
Me and Paul Ryan went to the same university.
Who cares?
Had to have been very high. Very high.
I don't care if Paul Ryan. Oh, by the way, Paul Ryan's a Democrat, right? He's a liberal.
He's a Democrat.
According to the Rhodes Scholar Charles, Paul Ryan is a Democrat because he's not voting for Donald Trump. Do you realize how ridiculous you sound? Literally, I try to have a conversation with you, and every single thing you say is not only wrong, it's a lie or it's a conspiracy theory. Trump won the 2020 elections. The Democrats cheated in the 2016 elections. They cheated in the 2020 elections. You downplay COVID. I mean, literally everything you say is a conspiracy theory.
Can we talk about the J6 committee? We haven't gotten there yet.
That's probably one of your favorite movies, right?
What?
Is he still talking? Yeah, he's probably still talking. Go ahead. You can pot him back up. What do you think about Dinesh D'Souza? Do you like 2000 Mules? Is that your favorite movie?
It's not my favorite. I mean, it's a great movie.
It's great. Yeah, I'm shocked. I'm shocked you think it's a great. What do you think about the Confederate flag? You think that's good for the country? What do you think about that?
I mean, if someone wants to fly the Confederate flag.
Yeah, so you're going to defend the Confederate. What do you think about Alex Jones?
It's called the First Amendment.
Gotcha.
If someone wants to scream Donald, scream F Donald Trump, they have a right to do that too.
Put him down again. Hey, Joe.
I didn't say you can say and do whatever you want as long as you're peacefully doing it. Right?
I didn't ask you if people don't have a right or have a right to show the Confederate flag. I asked you what your opinion was of it. Are you not even capable of understanding a question?
No, I am.
Answer the. What do you think?
That is my opinion. My opinion on the Confederate flag is if someone wants to fly it, they have every
right. And what is your personal opinion about what the flag?
I grew up in the Midwest. Why would I have a personal opinion on the Confederate flag?
So you don't have any opinion on what do you think about Alex Jones when he said the school shooting in Connecticut didn't happen? You okay with that opinion? You okay with the
First Amendment right to say whatever?
No, he doesn't. You don't even know what the First Amendment right is, you dope.
What?
Just because that pertains to the government.
I understand you can't scream fire in a movie theater, but what Alex Jones said is not at that level.
You can't hurt people.
Not at that level.
You can't incite violence. And it was proven in a court of law that those parents who lost loved ones and children were getting death threats because of the things that Alex Jones said. You don't even know what the First Amendment is.
Alex Jones is responsible for other people's actions.
You can go on a sidewalk and say a school shooting didn't happen. But when you go on a private business entity with a large platform, you can't say things that can harm people or hurt people or incite violence. Do you not even understand what the First Amendment is, dude?
Yeah, I do.
Charles, do you not even understand?
Yeah. Okay. So was Alex Jones calling up those parents or were other people calling up those parents?
Do you not even understand the Alex Jones case and why he got sued and why he lost? Do I have to explain it to you?
No, you're not answering. You're accusing me. I'm not answering your questions. Now I'm going to ask a few questions.
Sure.
I was I was like the most respectful. So respectful, they say.
No, you didn't. The first, you weren't respectful at all.
I literally have let you
You weren't respectful at all. The first 10 seconds of this conversation, you misrepresented me, you misquoted me, and you misquoted what I said at the Trump rally because you don't know what you're talking about. So I find that disrespectful. When you misrepresent what I think and what I say, that's when I get frustrated. So don't you give me this high horse. Oh, I've been so respectful to you. No,
I've been the most respectful.
You've disrespected POWs. You've disrespected
John McCain is not a POW. He's a 50-year American sellout.
Yeah, but I'm the one that
who has more money, whose family has more money than 99.9% of America. Come on.
Okay. So you want to you want to poo-poo on John McCain because he has money and you wish him to be a POW again if he was alive. But you want to say that I'm being disrespectful. Give me a break, man.
The last part, why?
Go ahead and ask your stupid Laura Loomer questions. Go ahead. I'll answer any question you have.
Okay. Want to talk J6? Wait. Can we talk? Wait. Can we talk J6? Because like that was the other thing I think we wanted.
Can we talk J6? Yes. Okay. So let me. Sure. Let's talk J6, and I'll let you ask me anything you want. But since it's my show, I'm going to ask the first question. Okay.
Fire away.
So
you have the home field advantage.
Okay. Well, I don't think I need a home field advantage with you because it's somebody with an IQ that's like 8 times yours. But anyway, we'll get back to that later. When Donald, yeah, I know you're a Rhodes Scholar.
No,
so
literally, look at my.
No, literally. Okay. You're right. You're an extremely intelligent person. Sure. We'll give you that. Sure. You sound like a very intelligent person. So let's go back to January 6th. When Donald Trump characterized all the people, including some of those people who attacked police officers with their own batons, there's video of it, tried to gouge their eyes out and assaulted police officers. And he characterized them, okay, as hostages and patriots. Would you say those people on January 6th that attacked police officers are hostages and patriots?
May I take it back one step further?
No, answer the question.
How did J6 happen? Nancy Pelosi?
No. The question wasn't about Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, a lot of those people
have No. Charles, I need you to answer the question directly. And my question wasn't about Nancy Pelosi or how January 6th happened. I need you to focus since you're such a Rhodes Scholar and you got this degree from some college I've never heard of. So let's go back to what I said. And let's see if you can answer. So let's see it. Okay. Again, I need you to focus. Some of those people that were arrested and some of those people that are still in jail were prosecuted for attacking police officers and physically assaulting police officers. My question to you, and I need you to focus, would you characterize those people that attacked police officers as hostages and patriots? Please answer the question directly.
Have you seen the videos of the police officers kind of starting it first? So I don't know.
I wasn't
there on January 6th. See,
I didn't, okay. Pot him down again. Pot him down again.
You're pushing some narrative off of stories, off of a few video clips.
People attacked, some of those people attacked police officers. There's video evidence of it. They had a chance to defend themselves in a courtroom and they were convicted. Some of them put in plea deals because they were caught. You didn't have to be there. So now I'm going to try to ask you one more time because you're curling up like a pretzel, Charles. So I'm going to ask you one more time.
Well, I'm just a little cold.
You didn't have to be there to see
AC. It's a little chilly.
Would you characterize the people who attacked police officers that day physically as hostages and patriots? Please answer the question.
I mean, I don't really think any police officers were attacked that day based on my research.
Okay, pot him down again. I don't care about your stupid research. There's actual videos out there, and it was proven in a courtroom with video that police officers were attacked, and over 100 police officers had injuries and were sent to the hospital. So I don't know what stupid Laura Loomer research you're doing with the blinders on, okay? But there were serious crimes that were committed that day, and guess what? Every single one of those people had the right to defend themselves in a court of law. They had representation. Some of them copped plea deals, and some of them didn't, and some of them went to trial. And most of those people that attacked police officers are in jail. So I don't know what type of stupid Newsmax research that you did. You can't answer a direct question. If somebody, I'll even phrase it a different way so somebody like you might understand. Okay, Charles? In general terms, and I know you'll love this analogy, right? Because Laura Loomer talks about it all the time, another very credible individual. If a Black Lives Matter protest, somebody attacks a police officer, physically assaults a cop, would you call them patriots and hostages?
Is there evidence they actually attacked a police officer?
Just like on January 6th, there were videos.
Needed. All right. Well,
Charles,
a lot of those J6 videos are doctored, right? They're not real.
I'm not asking you about doctored videos. You can't even answer a direct question.
With J6 because
Charles, why can't you answer a direct question? Do you not have the brain power? I'm asking you a very direct question. And the normal answer to somebody that has an IQ over 20 would be, it doesn't matter where it happens. If you attack a police officer, you're not a hostage and you're not a patriot. Like, are you not capable of answering a direct question? Are you not smart enough? Or are you just so mentally ill and deranged on the far right that, number one, you can't stop talking, and number two, you can't answer a direct question? As I pod you back on, because this is getting to the point in the interview where it was comical, and I think I've had you on 49 minutes too much, Charles. I really do, with all due respect.
I mean, I think your ratings are so high right now. You love me on. You're going to
invite me back on. Okay, so first of all, a dope isn't going to help my ratings. That's number one. Yes, that's what you are. Number two, I get 15 to 30,000 people watching the show live every day. I get 50 to 100,000 people that watch the show every 24 hours.
Yeah, that's like on your show.
How many people watch you? How many people watch you, Charles?
I don't have a show.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder why. I thought you were a Rhodes Scholar. I thought you were a really talented Rhodes
Scholar.
Millions
of people watch my videos on Congress a week, so that's
millions. So when you chase after a politician and you ask a student,
most of them talk.
Right. When you walk to ask Jamie Raskin a stupid question and you have your little 15-second video, you think that means you have any talent or ability at all? Because I'll give you some advice. It doesn't show that you have any talent at all. You don't ask any real questions. You ask a bunch of stupid right-wing conspiracy theorist questions, and that's why nobody has any respect for you.
I mean,
I have a lot of people.
When I talk to Jamie Raskin, I ask him, "Hey, why did J6 committee? Did the J6 committee not delete their communications?"
First of all, you can't even book an interview. You don't even know how to do that. You're in the halls of Congress all day because you don't have a real job, and you chase down these politicians in hopes that they answer you. Most of these politicians don't even answer you; they ignore you because they have no respect for you. I saw your stupid Jamie Raskin video, and by the way, that's not an interview. It's chasing somebody and yelling at them and a 15-second soundbite. You don't even know how to do an interview. I've given you the opportunity. You don't even know how to do an interview.
What do you mean? This is a great interview. This is like the best interview. You're having a great time. I know you are.
No, I mean, I just think you're a complete clown. You're a moron. I mean, I'm not having a good time. I just think I would like to have an interview of substance. I had the Donald Trump campaign manager on the other day. We had a good conversation. I don't agree with her. I had a conversation with a right-wing strategist. I've interviewed some of the furthest people on the far right, and we've had actual real interviews. You haven't directly answered any question that I've asked you. This has been a complete waste of my time. And I'm sorry, dude, if Laura Loomer wants to come on this show and she wants to actually answer some of my questions, which I'm sure she wouldn't either, I would ask her, why do you call yourself a proud Islamophobe? Are you a racist? Why did you say the Parkland, you had conspiracy theories about the Parkland school shooting when a bunch of kids died? Why do you call all Muslims savages? Why is it that the Donald Trump team won't hire you? They want nothing to do with you. The campaign doesn't want anything to do with you.
Oh,
those are the questions. Oh, really? Then why isn't she working in the Donald Trump campaign?
I don't know. Go ask her.
Oh, so you don't know the answer to that.
I'm Laura Loomer's press secretary now.
She wanted to work within the Donald Trump campaign, and they wouldn't hire her. Why do you think that is, Charles, if she had credibility, which she doesn't?
I don't know if it went down like that, man. But
you don't know.
Can we go back to J6? Like, let's talk about J6. That's
because you definitely have all your facts there because you do your own research.
Yeah, I have tons of research.
The guy that doesn't have a show, the guy that has never conducted a real.
You don't want a show. Have you ever thought that?
Maybe nobody wants to hire you because you're a talentless buffoon. Have you ever thought of that?
Or maybe
the only person that you can work for is Laura Loomer, a known Islamophobe racist. That's the only person that would put you on their platform because she's also despicable.
I wouldn't say she's despicable. I'd say she's pretty popular.
What is it you do every day? You just go to D.C. and you just chase down politicians with your 10-second sound bites and think you're good at what you do?
I mean, that's just like 1% of it.
Like, what do? You wake up in the morning, you do these stupid videos that nobody
do every day.
I'll tell you what I do. I'm so glad you asked that question.
Oh, Charles, yeah, let's hear it.
Because I'll give you an answer. You see, I do about 5 hours of show prep every day. I get audio sound bites. I conduct interviews. Most of the interviews that I conduct, which are people that are about 1,000 times more well-known than you, people on the right and the left, I book guests. I come up with my own content. I don't chase down people in DC. My content's actually pretty good. And I disagree with a lot of people that I interview, but I prefer to do that. But they're actually people that have an IQ and have some intelligence.
I do the best IQ.
Yeah, I know. You keep saying that. I know you're a Rhodes Scholar. I understand, Charles. But what is it you do every day besides spew right-wing propaganda and conspiracy? Do you actually ever interview? Like, do you ever interview anybody with any bit of credibility besides a 10-second soundbite of following somebody in the halls of Congress? Like, do you actually have?
Have you ever watched any interview in the hall of Congress? That's all they are.
Have you ever booked any
like no, dude? Like, I mean, like everybody follows everyone around in the halls. That's how it works.
No, you see, Manu Raju
That's
is
how it works. Manu walks around the halls of Congress with his little microphone.
And I was going to my sentence by saying that he actually asks intelligent questions, and it's why even people like Marjorie Taylor Greene will stop and do.
MTG's a loser.
Okay? So. There are. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm happy that we agree on something. That's the one thing that
we have one agreement. Yeah, MTG's a loser.
I think Laura Loomer and Marjorie Taylor Greene both have a lot in common, and I think both of their IQs don't even add up to 40. But anyway, you see, there are journalists.
Has a very high IQ.
Do you have any journalistic degrees or any communication degrees or anything in your field? Anything at all?
What do you mean? I literally graduated with business and political science communication.
Okay, but do you have any communications degree or journalistic degree? Because you call yourself a journalist. You're an embarrassment.
Business and political science don't need communication. I think if you want to be successful in business and political science, you have to be able to communicate. Because if you can't communicate your points, no one's going to buy your shit.
Right. I know a lot of people are buying your stuff, Charles. There's no question about that. Yeah, I know a lot. What are you selling? What are you selling, Charles? Are you selling Trump on the 2020 election shirts?
No,
are you
I'm
selling
shirts?
What are you selling? Are you selling anything? Are you selling? What are you selling? I think you're selling a load of crap, is what you're selling.
Don't worry about what I'm selling.
Laura Loomer is working. All right. Well, okay. So Charles,
Trump winning?
So Charles, I've had you on for 50 minutes. It's been very difficult to talk to you. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be honest with you. And the bottom line here is you're going to go on social media and say, I destroyed that guy Shapiro with facts, when the reality of the situation is you've provided no evidence for any of your lies and conspiracy theories. You're not even capable of answering a direct question. I don't think you're smart enough. I really feel sorry for you, Charles. I really do. But good luck with maybe a show that you have down the road, and good luck chasing down.
I don't even want a show, dude.
Well, I don't think.
If I wanted a show, I would have a show. All right.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. I'm sure it would be very, very successful because
it would be like the most highest rated show in history. People like me.
I'm sure. Yeah.
People like me. People like Trump. People don't like Biden.
I'll say this. I'll give you credit for this. The same people that buy Donald Trump Bibles, the same people that buy their Confederate flags, the same people that will buy gold sneakers that are worth $10 for $750 probably do like you. I'm sure that there are some people out there on the far right that are bigots and conspiracy theorists, Alex Jones watchers, and watch Newsmax 24/7 because that's where they get their research from. I'm sure there are some of those people, not even all of them or the majority of them. There are some of those people, Charles, that will probably like you. Charles, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much. I think you're an embarrassment to journalism. And quite frankly, I think I just wasted 50 minutes of my time because you're a complete idiot. But thank you for coming.